What's up, everybody? Welcome to Season 6 of the Underwater Fly Zone podcast. I'm Foster Huggins, your host. This is episode 1, and guys, I'm excited. We have not done a podcast season in almost a year, but today we're back, baby. Episode 1, Season 6, and we got a couple guests joining us to give you guys a very deep message. I'm not going to lie, this one has been very anticipated. We've been putting off recording it. It's going to be a tough conversation we're going to have, but we're going to have it, and I'm excited because I think it's going to be very impactful. Let's introduce our guests.
Do I hear Brad Pohl?
What's up, everybody? Brad Pohl's be back again.
Brad Pohl's in the building.
Does anybody know your real name, bro?
No, let's keep it that way.
Brad Pohl's in the building.
We got
Do I hear
Carson.
Brad
I'm here for, I don't know, probably like episode 10 at this point. I got to be double digits by now.
Yes, sir.
What's up? It's Jack. Probably only my fourth or third time, somewhere around there.
Yes, sir. We got the team, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know how well you know about this whole brand, but the brand really took off once Konnor joined up. He designed, I want to give public recognition, the Your Life is Worth Living logo, ladies and gentlemen. This dude is the one who designed it on what? What'd you design it on, bro?
Canva, baby. Shout out Canva.
Shout out Canva, bro. Let's go. So, yeah, this dude, came in and joined the team, and things took off. That was 2023. Things really went up. In 2024, these two dudes, Carson's always been involved because he's my literal brother. Jack's basically my brother. These guys are all my brothers. But these two dudes stepped in 2024, and 2024 was amazing. Like, it was incredible. I want you guys to talk about how great 2024 was and what's an experience that you took away from this past year.
Experience I took away was real early in 2024, starting with Indy. Indy was like February-ish. I think it was in February, actually. It was right after the Chiefs parade. It was the weekend after the Chiefs parade. And that was just, it was our first time leaving the state for something like this, I think, right? Kansas maybe, whatever, doesn't really count. But it was, we traveled out there, got a lot of stuff out in Indianapolis. No, that was just it was a great start to what was turning into the best year so far. It was just the best way to start it off. Indy was awesome.
Dude, it was NBA All-Star Weekend. And we were selling hoodies.
Did we sell good there?
Dude, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I dropped the margins like crazy. We were making not a lot of money, but who cares? We were trying to get the message out. Right. We're out in a different part of the country. I was like, let's get the message out, bro. So we were throwing just ridiculous deals. But yeah, we sold a ton of hoodies, and the hoodies we were selling were the ones that everyone wants us to bring back. We call it the Jack Fields hoodie because he wears it all the time. The tan and the blues, bro. It's like we had so many of them that day, and we sold so many of them. It was such a great experience.
Indy was awesome, bro. When I thought of Indy, though, I thought it was going to be a lot bigger of a city, but
yeah,
it still did the job.
Totally
when we went down in the middle of the city, it was just a great time. We got out of the car and it was just chilling. It was snowing, but it was
freezing.
Still, I wouldn't trade that.
Indy
was one of those that's one of those experiences in life that, since I liked Chicago too, but Indy was the first time we got out there and did it. That for Indy was amazing.
For sure, dude. Hit a blizzard on the way, though.
Had to take like another hour out.
The main highway closed, so we had to go back roads.
I-70 was closed.
Dude, just ridiculous. Anyways, Jack, what about you, bro?
Yeah, just like Carson said, the start of the year was Indy. It definitely changed my perspective for the rest of the year. Opened up my eyes. It was an amazing way to start off 2024. And then eventually later down the line, we got into Chicago, which was later that year. It was a very amazing trip. First time ever seeing Chicago. Beautiful city. Sold quite a bit. Had some great Bibi Bop.
Terrible.
No, shout out Bibi Bop, bro. The rat meat.
There was no. Chicago was a special one.
Yeah, Chicago was very cool. It was good to go out there, see different people, get the message out in a different part of the state.
That drive up there was something else.
The drive back was even more of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But bro, in Chicago, dude, oh my gosh, to be selling merch on the same court that Michael Jordan practiced on, like, that was lit.
It definitely was crazy. Walking in, just seeing all the retired banners with Michael Jordan, Scotty, Dennis Rodman, all of them. It was definitely shell-shocking.
I want to talk about June 2024 real quick. First day of the year, got married, baby.
First day
you
of the
already
month.
know. First day of the month. Yeah, first day of the month, June 1st, got married, went on the honeymoon. Shout out to the honeymoon hat. Just took the dub. Go back and watch the last episode. Got married, went on the honeymoon. Right when we got back from the honeymoon, downtown days. 3 straight days. It was like 28 hours in 3 days of selling merch. Bro,
Would not take those 28 hours back.
No, dude. I think that was the weekend that a lot of people started to recognize us. We met so many amazing people. Shout out to anybody that we met through Downtown Days because, dude, what a weekend. What a weekend. And then 2 weekends later, we do the 3-year birthday party for Underwater Fly Zone on Friday night and then leave at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning for Arkansas. Met Lil 22. Met some awesome people down in Arkansas, man. Shout out to 479 Swap Meet. And then we finished off June with our first ever major Kansas City fashion show. Shout out KC Fashion. June was the best month of my life, and I don't know if it'll ever be topped. Like, genuinely, how can you top that month, bro? I don't know.
It was a crazy month.
June, if you take all the years, all the months out of every year, June's probably top 3 months all time. I mean, in my life, June 2024. I mean, and honestly, probably just in that conversation, July 2024. July was lit.
July was great too. But June was my number one, and shoot, it's gonna take a lot. Like, my kids better do some crazy stuff in their lifetime to top that. Or this year might have some better months. I don't know. But 2024 June, shout out to you wherever you are. Yeah, that was a great year, man. 2024 was amazing for us in a lot of ways, but this is where we get into the message of today, where in the shadows of 2024, we were going through some things. Specifically, our boy Brad Poles was going through some things that were not in the public eye, I would say. We kind of kept it in the backstage. But I want you, I'm going to call you Konnor because I get mixed up. Yeah.
Do I hear Brad Poles?
I want you, Konnor, to just kind of tell us, because while we're out here building this brand that you helped so much create, you weren't able to participate in a lot of what we were doing. Right. And I just want to, before you begin, I just want to say to anybody out there, if, tough, deep stories make you uncomfortable, if seeing dudes trying to keep it together make you uncomfortable, this is going to be a tough conversation, a tough story to hear. But it's going to be so important as well because this past year was out of a movie in a lot of ways, and then out of a different type of movie in a lot of ways. So, oh my gosh, dude. Let's get it, Konnor. Let's get it.
So, yeah, man, for those of you who don't know, I was diagnosed with chronic myelogenous leukemia when I was 4. And it's been pretty, maintained up until just this past year. And it was, 2023 winter?
December.
Yes.
December, yeah.
Yeah, so 2023 winter, in that fall, I was kind of feeling off. I just wasn't feeling like myself. And then that winter, I started to get really bad headaches to the point where I couldn't even, walk. I was just in unbearable pain. And so I was admitted into the hospital, and we thought it was no big deal. I kind of told them I was in the hospital and stuff, but we thought it was no big deal until my doctor that I've had since I was 4, she stuck with me throughout all of this stuff. She actually broke the news to me that my cancer was back. And so that was probably the realest raw emotion that I felt, because when you're a kid, you don't really comprehend or you can't really wrap your mind around what's going on. But when I'm 21 and that stuff was
yeah,
you know what I mean, it's you don't really know what's gonna happen going into it. So yeah, I kind of got better after that, and then winter break hit, and we were kind of all just in a shell shock type of environment. Just kind of didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And so we started talking about options because my cancer turned into sort of a blast phase, so it was more immediate type of find a solution.
Yeah,
so
they needed to get on it.
Correct, yeah. So they proposed the idea for going through chemo, radiation, transplant, all that harsh stuff, and I was really just upset. At first I was really just upset because I was more focused on aspects of my life besides that. I wasn't even I didn't really care about that sounds bad. I didn't care about my health. I was more focused on what am I going to do for school? I don't want to be behind. I'm not going to have a job. I can't work out. I was just focused on those aspects, and I think that's just such a closed-minded thought process. to not like value your health more than just other aspects of life, because your health is your life.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah. So so then I started IV chemo January.
Yeah, I think it was right around
January, December-ish, yeah. And I that went pretty smoothly. I would say it was every other week. I think it was about 6 or 7-ish rounds. I was definitely glad when I got through it, because the more you get, the worse you feel like going on. But would you guys come to the hospital in that time?
Yeah, so we were up there December. Me and Chad were up there the first couple of days you were in, so earlier December, and then we were up there in December and January. I think we were up there when you were going through the liquid chemo through the IV.
I do remember that, yeah.
But that was that was early on. We were able to come up still.
I just remember it was the Christmas event 2023, and Konnor had been a part of the whole year, like rebuilding the brand. And then that night, it was a huge event. You know, got to sell 50 crew necks, all this stuff, all hyped up. And then you didn't show up. And I was like, that is weird. Like, this dude's been here all year. He just kind of didn't really say anything. I was kind of sus, you know? I'm like, why is he not here? And then that's like the next day we found out, or at least I found out what was happening. And I remember, Carson, I think you said something like, oh, he's really sick. Like, he's been having bad headaches. I think he's in the hospital. And then next thing you know, that was, you know, life was never the same. You know, it was like that morning you wake up and you think Connor's going to be there tonight. Things are going to be great. The next day, it's like, dude, life will never be the same now. And
it was
that was
definitely
the start.
Like a big change. You know, like change can happen fast, but that was like a, you know, take a step back and kind of just.
And then there was so much worry because I had no clue what was happening. Like, part of me was like, is this like stage 4? Like, is this bad? Or is it like bad, but he's got this? Like, I had no clue what was happening. And I'm sure you were the same way. None of us had any clue really what was happening. But take us through what happened next. You know, January.
So yeah, January was the IV chemo. I did a. Do you remember I had that bag?
I do remember that bag.
Blina bag. So I had a Hickman in my chest, and it connected through that. It was a bag of liquid, but it was pretty much just for like antibiotics, just to like keep me, like, my immune system somewhat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that for most of February, which I hated that thing, because you are tied down to that 24 hours. Like, shower, change clothes, you're tied down to that.
Yeah, there'd be sometimes he'd be in bed and get caught in the cord and start beeping and going crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, that thing used to beep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was February, and around that time, because I'd found out in December that it was back, I was like, we were projected for transplant in February until I got that Blina bag. But I was like, I want to get this thing done. I want to get back to life. You know what I mean? Like, I was just ready to just beat this. And then so in March 8th, I started radiation, which so my blast cells were in like my neckish area over by my head. So I had to get cranial radiation and full body radiation. So that was definitely an experience, especially going through radiation, because I didn't have to do that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so foreign, because I was at a children's hospital, like, for like my like maintaining of it, but they outsourced the radiation at KU Med. So that was my first time being at like an adult like cancer hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a weird environment. Like, it's not the same as children's hospitals.
Yeah.
But radiation wasn't bad going through it. It was just, you could kind of just feel your body get weaker, and you didn't have as much energy and stuff. And then after we did radiation, because I was admitted in the hospital during radiation, I had to do the harsh chemo, which that's when stuff started to get bad. Radiation, after radiation, because this is post-radiation, I started to, like, my skin kind of started to, like, be drier and scaly. I had already lost so much muscle. Started losing my hair a little bit. But the harsh chemo, I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. I probably didn't want you guys up there that time, though.
I think we were like almost. I don't think we were even allowed to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you weren't because you couldn't touch me.
Yeah, we couldn't even come up.
So the harsh chemo, I had to pee every 2 hours and shower every 6 hours because that's how the chemo excretes out of your body, and you got to change the bed sheets when you shower too. So. And you got to change all new clothes, wipe down whatever like your skin touches. Just because if you don't, like it excretes through sweat, but it would burn your skin. So it was that was probably one of the worst experiences, especially going through all that because, I mean, taking a shower every 6 hours. And this lasted for like 6 days too.
Yeah.
So I was just so beat and I already gone through radiation. And around that time, I finally just said bye to the hair. I finally went full bald.
Yeah.
That was some experience because I'll tell you what, as a young man, that's not easy to go by. I feel like losing your hair is such a shot in the,
It's like one of the main parts of you.
Right. It's just character to you. And I think that's why I love hats so much now because I feel like that's like a way to express myself too.
And then you look in the mirror. I don't know. I shaved my head bald after I cut the dreads off, like completely another topic. But when I looked in the mirror, I remember I'm like, I don't even recognize myself. I don't even see myself. Is that how you felt?
Exactly. Yeah. When I first shaved my head off, I was pretty positive of it because I kind of looked like my dad because my dad's bald too, and I kind of had my beard. But over when I later down the road, I had to put stuff on my bathroom mirror because I just couldn't look at myself. It was just like more of like an insecure feeling.
Yeah.
Which is weird because why would I feel insecure when I'm, you know what I mean?
When you're going through this.
Right.
So your mindset at the start was, I just want to fast forward this. Like, let's go.
Right.
Let's get this over
with. I was
with.
just prepared to just beat this. And I'd been working out for 2.5, 3 years.
This dude went into the hospital looking jacked.
He was ready.
Eating clean, no sugar and all that stuff. Like I was literally pretty much preparing for that. Almost.
He was peak mode. Like he went into the go to the Brad Poles channel, scroll down, dude. This dude was like the most fit, in shape out of anybody I knew, honestly, and dedicated to the gym. So, like you didn't know this was coming, but you were ready for it. You know, you're in your best physical shape. So you had that mindset of like, let's fast forward this. Let's go. I got it. February. Let's transplant. Get me out of here. How long were you able to keep that mindset, and when did it start to shift to something else, or were you able to,
I would say up until transplant, because my transplant kept getting moved back because we kept adding precautions before, they wanted me to be healthy and ready, to be able to fight this.
What are some precautions they added?
Just like the blended bag and just making sure, just making sure my blood levels are my body's willing to fight a transplant, because the transplant's, regardless what it is, a transplant's not easy on your body.
Yeah,
you're taking a foreign aspect and putting it in your body.
Yeah, explain what a transplant is for the people that.
So if what I did was a stem cell transplant, so it's taking someone else's stem cells and then it's pretty much wiping out mine. So I pretty much am wiping out my immune system. And I'm pretty much I'm growing a new one. So it's like planting a seed. I'm growing a new one. Uh-huh. And you got to think about how hard that is on your body, because at first, the risk is your body doesn't take those cells well, because they are foreign cells. You know what I mean? So it's really just getting adjusted to that. And we'll talk about that later down the road, because it kind of got a little weird then. But we finished chemo radiation. We had a transplant. And March 15th was my transplant day, and that went pretty well. I was pretty tired the first day. I think I didn't really start feeling effects till the 4th or 5th day, and it was really just more of a fatigue and just really just feeling blah. Mm-hmm. Bed rested for honestly probably 22-ish, 20 hours a day. I'm in a bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tried to get up and walk as much as I could. But yeah.
Well, even getting up and walking, bro, even if you're not bed rested, you're not getting outside.
Right.
You're on your floor of your hospital. I mean, you're not, even with the walking around, bro, you're not going anywhere. You're bed rested, you could basically say for 20 days or what, like months or whatever it was, but that's insane.
It was not easy. So, but yeah, going through transplant wasn't bad. I think around like day 20, you guys started to come.
Oh yeah, I would say somewhere
around that, because I had really bad neuropathy and mucositis. So I'm trying so hard to remember like everything that I went through, but like mucositis was from the radiation, but it was just like shedding of the skin in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
And it was just ugh. And then the neuropathy, I actually still deal with it today. It hasn't gone away like yet, but it's just like it feels like needles on your hands and feet. And the only way I could relieve it at that time was that, I mean, they use drugs and stuff, but like a bucket of like ice water, just sticking them in, it felt the best.
Jeez.
And I actually had to go to down to the PICU for that. So I was in PICU for like a few days, and when I got back up, that's when you guys were allowed to come. But
that in March?
Yeah.
I think that's whenever me and Cooper made our way down there.
Right.
And that was actually, okay, so we got to go, me and Jack, Foster been in there once or twice, but me and Jack were in there every free day we got. And
also
then,
Chad too, don't forget Chad.
Oh yeah, Chad was,
Shout out Chad.
Chad's not on here, but he deserves a spot as well. But yeah, I remember we went with, that point was that was a pretty steep spot. Like that was fresh out of transplant and everything. And so I mean, I wasn't used to it. I saw your pictures on Snap or whatever, all that, but whenever I remember when me and Cooper went down there, that was Cooper's first look, and he was like, on the way back, bro, I could just tell his mind was kind of just jumbled, bro. He didn't know what was going on. You know, I didn't even know. Knew more what was going on. I knew he just went through the transplant. It's been an ongoing process, but for Cooper, bro, the first look at Konnor since all this started, it was rough, bro. But I mean, like we said, bro, we were just trying to go down there whenever we could. We'd just watch the baseball games, watch the NBA games, whatever it was, bro.
And you can kind of tell, like I knew I didn't look like myself, but you can tell, like, just in people's eyes, they're kind of just like, they don't really know what to say.
I remember me and Macy came. We brought you. Did we bring you 2 hoodies or?
You gave me
a hoodie and I think the shirt you're wearing under that hoodie right now. Yeah, and I remember we saw you, and yeah, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I just right away was like, I don't care. I went into the situation knowing I don't care what he looks like. This is Konnor, bro. Like, outward appearance, whatever. It's Konnor, you know?
That was probably like the worst.
But yeah, I was kind of shocked. I was like,
when I looked like,
gosh, and it was
just like those radiation burns on my like legs.
Yeah, dude. I felt so horrible. I was like, gosh, dude, he is in here going through it. And just, how are you mentally through this? Like, I don't want people to like not understand how crazy of an experience this was. This is an experience that hopefully none of us ever have to deal with, but you've been through, and like you're here now.
I definitely play it off. Like I definitely, like, I don't act like it's as big of a deal as it was. You know what I mean? I try to keep it in the past, but I've also been dealing with this since I was 4.
Yeah.
So it's not really foreign to me. But I would say from the beginning to end, it went, my mental just shot down. But I always tried to keep a mask on, and my parents always told me, you don't have to pretend like you're okay. Like people know what you're going through. But I wanted to be that figure, that strong figure. You know, everyone was talking about, oh, you know, you're so strong for doing this and all that, and I wanted to be that for people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, dude. So what were some times? Because I know we had them. I know I had them where I'm sitting in my bed thinking about you, and I'm like, gosh, dude. Like on the outside, we had the great energy. You know, you got this, Konnor. I'd send you the freaking long paragraph text, book long of random motivation. Hopefully that wasn't annoying, but I would be texting you like crazy.
I never got annoyed,
dude. I'm glad, but we kept spirits high on the outside. Right. But I know when I got by myself, I'd have worries, dude. I'm like, what if this goes wrong? You know, and it terrified me, bro. So I can just imagine how you felt. Did you have any times like that where you didn't know how this was gonna go?
Yeah, definitely. At the first, I think the only time I doubted my life was when they first broke the news to me, just because I didn't know how to feel about that. But I would say my biggest thing, like being in it, was that's the loneliest I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I could connect with anyone. I kind of felt like people were like, I guess I mean, people were worried for me, yeah. But like I don't like being treated like a special treatment like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit right with me, and I kind of just like my only like one-on-one time with me was the shower.
Mm-hmm.
I'd spend like 45 minutes in the shower just because that was my only alone time. That was my only time to reflect with myself of like what was going on, and it wasn't easy. It definitely was not easy. But I would say my biggest help through this was God.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really been like I have a strong relationship with God. I was when I was younger, but when I was growing up, I definitely pulled away from it. But I got gifted a devotion by my grandma when I was in the hospital, and I started reading because when you're on like that chemo and stuff, your brain just your gears stop working. So I was wanting to read to just keep up, and I really found God through that, and I think that changed my outlook on just the whole scenario in general. Just being appreciative of my life and why I'm here.
Yeah.
Given a second chance, essentially. That's what's really just sits with me at the end of the day. Like I was gifted a second chance at life.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I'm so glad to be sitting here doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Like there were so many times I knew right when this happened, I was like, I texted you about it. I was like, Konnor is going through something that, like I said, I pray none of us have to go through. This experience is unique to you, and you have such a chance and an opportunity to impact so many people because you were put through something that was so, there's not even words to describe how hard this was for you to go through, but the fact that you got through it and that you're here right now, I'm so grateful for that. So grateful for this episode. And there's a lot more of a message we want to give for this, but I want you to finish your story first because we're in March right now. You had the transplant. They give you 100 days, right? So you were...
Right. So my 100 days was in...
June 26th?
Yeah. So, but in April, I was still in the hospital. But April 5th was my first day outside because my counts were high enough that I could be able to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
But just being outside for the first time in like a month-ish was just I think it was like 2 months, but it was just insane just feeling the cold wind on your face.
Yeah.
And I actually couldn't walk that far. I was getting pushed in a wheelchair at that time. Oh shit. But yeah, so then a few days after, I don't know if you guys remember the solar eclipse or whatever. Yeah, I got to see that at the hospital.
Nice.
And then a few days later after that, I got sent home. I was super ecstatic. I was still having nausea problems, just, a lot of vomiting, just because all this junk that was pumped into me. But I had to make a trip back. It was actually right around my 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you guys came up, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For what, 21st?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, talk about that day, bro. 21st birthday.
Yeah, tell that story that day.
Yeah, so if you can't tell, I was done with the hospital by then. Like I did not want to see anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was the Grinch. I was the Grinch on that floor. And my best friend Chad, he came up and he came in my room, and I was like, oh gosh, like I don't really want to talk to anybody, but I was like, all right, I'll hang out with him. And then him and my mom, they were like trying to get me to like go outside and like they wanted me to like walk around. I was like, I do not want to walk around. Like I want to lay in my bed.
Yeah.
So eventually I got up and we were walking to like the playroom like for the kids, and it's like 20 people and it's all of them, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was not in the mood, but it was so fun just to see that many people there.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people couldn't make it up, but like seeing everybody, like Jack's parents came up, your parents.
It was kind of cool because it was a collect group of like, yeah, you said me, my parents, Jack, his parents, then like Chad,
people
and,
that I
and
would
then you're
normally
Chad,
see,
yeah,
people that I normally see on like a day-to-day basis, but like, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
all together.
yeah, it was great to
Also, shout out to the nurses. They had like fake Jello shots.
Yeah.
They had all these other stuff.
They made me like they made like mocktails and stuff. So the nurses really good.
They also gave you a book with like how to make their favorite. Didn't they do that? They gave you the favorite drink book.
Yep. Yeah, I
That's
still
just-
got the shot book.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
That's so funny though. Like the one day you were like, I do not want to see anybody. I'm ticked off.
20
Right,
people.
and I'm
feeling
pretty
it.
sure it was on my birthday. Like
I think
it was
was.
either your birthday or the day after, or the day before.
Dude, and you were probably on so many medications. You were in
Yeah.
like a different type of bad mood, bro. And then you just walk out and there's like a whole squad of nurses, kids, and families and friends. It's like, are you serious?
I was definitely more grateful like after, like during it, you know what I mean? Because I mean there was like Chipotle and cookies and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. And
That's so crazy, man.
yeah, but yeah, so I ended up getting out of the hospital, and I kind of thought my journey was like over then. But then when was it? Right on 100 days. Actually.
The 100 days was June 23rd.
Right.
I thought it was 26.
June 1st was my first time being around like
Back
people.
in public.
Yeah.
At the wedding, baby.
Yeah. That thing was lit.
That was a different experience, bro.
I was kind of mad because I really wanted to like drink like legally for the you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like I wanted to use my ID and stuff. But
You
I was
wanted
like,
to be in the mosh pit.
right. I was
Yeah.
I was a sideliner that time.
I'm
but-
glad you were there though, because the
Yeah.
whole time that was a conversation me and Macy had planning the wedding. We're like, we got to do it outside because Connor's got to be there, and you had to be outside because you had to be away from people. And yeah, the fact that you got to go there was such a blessing. But
Dude, we were all in the what was it called? The groomsmen suite.
yeah,
That was different, bro, because I didn't know you were coming. I don't think. I think I
I
probably,
think I only told Brock and
Told me.
maybe Jack.
Yeah, and I think I already had probably like a couple shots, and I was like looking out because people started like I did okay. I knew obviously about everything about your wedding, but to put the scale that many people in person, there was just so many people that kept going. I was like looking out, like holy crap, dude! There's
So
a ton
many
of people, and then I saw you, and I've been seeing you. Like I saw you a lot, and I was like, who? I was like,
Yeah,
who did
a
Foster
lot of
invite
people-
to this wedding?
Yeah.
no, I saw you. I was like, who? Because you didn't look like
Foster
yourself yet
didn't
either.
recognize me. No.
No, but once we figured out it was you and we saw you walking on in there, bro, that was
I looked like an old man. I looked
No,
like
I'm
a
not-
30-year-old.
Well, because you were walking with Jack, and I was like,
Brock.
Brock.
Okay,
Yeah.
well he's walking with Brock, and I'm like, who'd Brock bring? Like, he bring some grandpa over here? Then I'm like, oh, yo, it's Connor, dude. And when I knew it was you, I was like, let's freaking go. The day was
your mom
May.
started crying.
Really?
Yeah.
I probably could have if I wasn't so happy, dude. That I was in like a whole different spirit that day.
I was
but
hyping, pretty sure. I was like,
I was like, let's go.
Yeah, just screaming into the groom suite.
But so your 100 days is coming up. I don't know how big. I mean, was that a huge deal to you? Because I remember you were already kind of living as if the 100 days had happened before it approached.
Essentially, just because I was really big on listening to my body and my health.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole time I knew what I could do and couldn't do. But I was treating my 100 days as like going back to normal life. Essentially, that's what I interpreted it as.
Yeah.
But obviously, things don't go the way you want them to
So
go.
the 100 days hits and talk about what happens next.
100-day hits, and we find out that the transplant didn't work, and we're gonna have to do another one that following fall. So I was kind of just, and I was already over the whole cancer and all that stuff.
You're just
So-
worn down.
Right. I was like, I don't know if I can do another one of those.
Yeah. And you had so much anticipation. You're like, I just been through 6 months of this,
Right.
and I finally hit the finish line. And then, like, days later,
Right.
they tell you this.
Yeah, and so they proposed a option before the transplant. They said it would help the transplant. It's called CAR T cell therapy. It's pretty much genetically engineered T cells that they'd pull out of like from my body, and they would genetically engineer and put them back, and essentially it goes to like fight those leukemia cells if it were. And so they did that, and I think it was fallish, right?
When they did that?
When I
Yes.
got them back in, because you were back in school, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so September I did CAR T cell, And that's where I really experienced. I was in school at this time, by the way. I was doing college.
Yeah.
And essentially what happens is it's called CRS syndrome. But pretty much your brain starts to like swell up and expand. So I was having like hallucinations and like it was hell. I mean that was like some of the worst stuff I experienced when I was in the hospital. And I'm doing school.
Yeah.
Like I was actively doing school during it. Nice, buddy. But yeah, so I went through that, and we were anticipating going into that transplant probably right around this time ish, maybe like December. And I started showing symptoms of something I'm dealing with right now called graft versus host disease, GVHD. And it's pretty much my donor cells from my first transplant. They actually showed that they're starting to work. Like they're essentially working too much though. They're attacking my body in like different ways. And so that's where I'm at right now, is just dealing with the flare-ups of the GVHD and kind of just figuring out like kind of like what it is, getting my feel out, and just keeping my leukemia cells at 0, and that's all we can do. You know?
We're at 0 right now, right?
Yep, we got 2 tests so far, so
There we go.
yeah.
Hold up.
Yes, we're on the right track.
Yeah, bro. But hey, so this is not the celebration episode. There will be a celebration episode.
I hope, I pray.
Yeah, but this is not that. You know, we're still in the middle of this.
Right.
Or would you say the middle, or would you say?
Hopefully on the backside.
Honestly, I think this is going to be a lifelong journey, and
Yeah.
I've accepted that. I mean, I accepted it when I was dealing with this 3 years ago, like when my leukemia was just at like a like a baseline.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of felt this my whole life. Like I'm probably gonna have to deal with this thing my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, because obviously at the end of the day, like I said, I was gifted a second chance at life, and why take that for granted? You know?
Yes,
what I mean?
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, hey, so everybody keep praying for Konnor. You know, keep praying for the other Konnor Barnes.
Yeah, shout out Konnor Barnes. That's
Big
my guy.
Underwater Fly Zone supporter. He going through this as well.
Yeah.
And keep praying for anybody you know that's affected. Drop a comment if you know somebody being affected that we could pray for. But so going through this, you know, God is there for you. What else in the hospital? What else kept you going through this whole thing?
Yeah, so I definitely had like a lot of supporters throughout this, like you guys, you know, grandparents, dads, uncles, all that stuff. But my mom was the MVP throughout this whole thing. She talked for me when I couldn't. She spoke up for me. She stayed with me throughout the whole thing. She's essentially was my caregiver when I wasn't doing well. So I can't thank my mom enough. Like my mom did the most throughout the whole thing. If I wasn't feeling the food there, she would go drive wherever to go get me
Anywhere.
Literally.
Any time of the day, too.
Yeah. Even if she had to go out of like Kansas City to go get it. But I can't thank my mom enough for it, and I love her so much for that. And that just shows like real like I'm sure other parents love their children, but I've never felt that type of like unconditional love.
Yeah. Shout out to the MVP, Mama
true
Chris. Yes, sir. Shout out to Chris.
She was sleeping on a bench, bro.
Yeah.
A bench for
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have much better. Hospital bed's not it, but a bench, bro.
She's got her whole work set up over there.
The whole
she
desk
worked there.
layout and everything, bro. She was.
So you were in
Same.
there for 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, she was there the whole time.
She never left.
Right, never.
Never once.
Yeah.
Very for like
to
20
go
minutes.
to go get stuff.
I was going to say the longest I saw her left was she went back to the house to grab things, and it was like an hour. It was the longest I ever seen her left when I was there.
And it was she would always leave when Jack came.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wanted someone to like be with me to like
Yeah. Dang. And I remember she like when we came, she was like trying to give us space. I was like, "No, Chris, come on, come and hang out."
Bro,
But
she would do it every time. She would leave every time, and it was she just is so thoughtful, bro.
It's
Like
so
she wants to give us the
respectful,
space because she like when we hang out nowadays, we're not hanging out with our parents, right? So she wanted to make it seem as normal, but yeah, sometimes
Totally.
some of those times I was just like, Chris, you could stay.
Yeah,
like,
come play the games
Yeah,
with them.
there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
problem with you staying and like
But
being here.
I also think like when my parents did stay, I'd say that like you guys built a better connection with
Oh,
my
for sure.
parents. Especially with my stepdad, because
100%.
I don't think you guys really talked to my stepdad much before this, but I felt like it definitely
I was gonna-
brought everybody
I was gonna
closer.
say now when he comes through the car wash, I'm talking to him for at least 5
Right.
to 10 minutes every time I
It's
see
crazy.
him.
Oh, yeah.
Before I was maybe a little scared. I'm not trying to say that, but maybe I was a little scared before.
You probably won't watch this, but Chad's a scary looking dude.
That's funny, dude. But hey, Chris is watching, so I just want to give a big shout out to Chris for real.
Both
From
of
the
them,
outside
dude.
looking in, man, what an act of love. She, love is sacrifice, and she sacrificed everything. She said, "I'm not leaving my kid's side." And there's a lot of great parents out there. I'm sure many parents watching would attempt to do the same. There's a lot that wouldn't.
I agree, and definitely not every night the way she was. Like
Yeah.
some parents would probably switch off different nights, but no, every night she was there.
Yeah, on a bench, bro, working, serving, bro.
I mean,
Shout out
and-
to Chris.
And there's just things like you've had like you've had a lot of hospital rooms, right? I mean, you moved around.
Oh yeah.
And with that, I mean, even though it's like not that big a deal, but I mean, your mom picked up and moved to a new place just
Yeah.
like you, slept
Yeah.
on a new bench.
We had to move every 30 days regardless whether
Mhm.
I was in or out, just so they could clean the room and stuff. But yeah, having to move rooms and stuff,
Yeah.
no fun.
Some rooms were definitely better than others, though.
Yeah.
But she also she made an effort to decorate the room too.
That
She
is true.
wanted to kind of make it like my own, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
She was bringing stuff back from
Yeah,
the
like
house.
we had remember I had like Legos hanging up. We had the basketball hoop. We had the putting green.
The putting green.
Yeah,
That's so awesome,
stuff was
man.
lit. Yeah,
It was lit as it can be, huh?
yeah,
So, hey,
Oh, as lit as it can be for sure, dude. You were putting green with wires just
yeah.
Hey,
Hooked up to an IV.
dude, like 19 wires hanging down. You're carrying a tree, but still putting, bro. That's really that's doing what you can with the situation, bro.
for sure. Well, hey, so we're at 42 minutes. I want to keep this going as long as we need to keep it going, but there is a main message behind all this that we wanted to give out. And I think we all have our own interpretations, so we could just go around.
Yeah, go ahead and start with you. I'll
Start
talk
with me?
Yeah, I'll talk last.
Okay. All right, shoot. I wasn't prepared. I was going to say you start. But I'll start. I think the biggest thing for me is just how, and it's something that I've learned before, I think we've all learned before, is just how instantly life can change forever. Like you wake up one day, it's a normal day, everything seems to be going normal, and then next thing you know, something happens and life will never be the same. And it's just so important to appreciate these moments that you're sharing with your friends, with your family, because you never know when the last time will be that you're sharing a moment with them. We had no clue that Konnor wouldn't be at that Christmas event. I had no clue that he wouldn't be there, and that the reason he wouldn't be there is because he's about to be dealing with this for, it's been a year. And like you said, this will continue on. And yeah, you had cancer at 4 years old till today. This has been a thing we've always known about, but just how serious it got so quickly.
Right.
You just never know. And what happened to you could happen to any of us. Truly. Like, it's so important to appreciate the people that you have in your life and say I love you to them. Make sure they know that, be there for people. And you just never know when the last time you'll talk to somebody is either. It's like, it's so important to spread love and stay in those moments. It's so easy to get in life and just kind of ride the wave of life and just, skim over days.
You get used to life too much. You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's like the Chiefs in the regular season, bro. It's like, let's just, away with you, Raiders. Broncos will just block your kick at the last second. No, we don't really care about this game. But it's like, you don't know if this could be your last game, So it's just so important. You got to appreciate the day and don't just, go through the motions. Really take those moments in because they could be it. That's a big takeaway I had.
That's true. I agree exactly what you said. You cannot have said it better, Foss. And just like what you're saying, and also what Konnor was saying, back in winter break of 2023, me, Carson, and Chad were all at Carson, and Konnor were all at Chad's house. My fault.
Shout out Chad, by the way. I
Uh-huh.
wish he could be on this.
Hanging out, and I remember we were in Chad's bathroom, and Konnor was just talking about how much like his head and the back of his ear hurted and stuff. and we're just looking at it, and then the next day is when we found out. So yeah, just like Foster said, cherish over every moment you have, because you don't know what's going to happen literally the next minute, maybe the next second. Like, anything could happen. Just cherish everything you do. Even if you're not that millionaire you want to be, you're still on earth, living, breathing. You still have something to live for, stuff to do. So just cherish everything you do, and don't ever think down on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah, for mine, I think I kind of just want to like summarize my experience through all this, honestly, because it's kind of like with what you said. I think it was a little bit before then, though. I came back for Christmas break of 2023, and first day to it, us three, Chad, I think Kevin, Brock, a lot of guys were over at Chad's. We were sitting at the bar, pouring up drinks, you know, just having a fun time like we literally always do. And we were all just nowhere in that night were we talking about cancer. Like, no, we weren't talking about none of that. We were just having a good time. Come a week from that day, I'm driving home from the hospital, tears running down my face, not playing music. The vibes are just, my mind's everywhere because we just figured out what you're going through, and me and Chad were right next to you, kind of hearing when the doctor came in. If you remember that day, it was kind of one of the first days, and they were kind of explaining it all. And the switch up from a week ago, like you said, you don't know what's going to happen. It changes. A week ago, we were doing our thing, all healthy, happy, all hanging out, and then the next day, you're not even able to come home. You're locked in a hospital bed. Me and Chad don't know what life's gonna look like for this time. We were expecting the best winter break all time, and then we get this dumped on us. It kind of goes, and it's just you. I don't want everyone to cherish every day and stuff, but like it's even deeper than that, bro. Like you gotta like love every day. You gotta love everything you do, and this is another one of the things I kind of want to bring up for my point of all this is like you were. Like this situation, no one would wish this on anybody ever. But the fact that God put you in the position to go through this, and you're finding your way through it, it was hard. There were times where it was easier than other times. Other times it looked like there was no way through it. But like you have to even cherish and love the hardships you go through, bro, because one day, we might not know it now, but one day you'll learn the lesson of why you went through this. We might never know here. We might know up there one day, but everything we go through in life is for a reason. Everything teaches you something, and God puts you through it because you can handle it. And I said this a while ago. I don't know about you guys. If I went through what you went through, to be 100% honest, I'm probably not here, bro.
Quit first day.
Yeah, I'm probably not here anymore. I'm probably didn't make it because like sometimes, and I also wanted to bring this up earlier with what you were going about with like just the altered state and all that. Everyone, people in college, they drink and stuff and get drunk, and you're completely altered when you do that, but you pick to do that. Yeah. There were days you probably didn't want to feel like crap, but they're flooding you with every drug that you can imagine. You're probably just like, dude, I want to just be like sober and just chill and not have to go through all this mind fog and all that stuff. But you didn't have a chance. You didn't have a choice for weeks on end, bro. You had to do that. And that's just, you got to cherish your health. You touch on that a lot. You cherish on your health, all the days, and you got to cherish the opposite of a blessing, like cherish your hard times, your hardships. You have to love those too, because without them, bro, life can't be so good.
Right.
I agree, and you won't be the person you are without the hardships.
Never. You will never learn the lessons unless you go through those types of things.
For sure, dude.
Hopefully you can be the 2-time champion. It could be the last time we mention that stuff.
For sure. And I feel like on this episode, you downplayed a lot of what you went through. Dude, the mouth thing you went through, that would have been enough for me to be like, this is awful. My mindset would have been potentially done right there.
You didn't bring up one of the scariest things, peeing blood, bro. That no one can imagine.
I did
that.
leave
Oh my
that out.
gosh.
Yeah, that was a.
And
dude,
that's last 2 weeks ago, you said you couldn't even come over and drive because you were having the foot problem.
Yeah.
Like, that was 2 weeks ago. Like, there's so much.
Well, that was honestly because I didn't want to drive on Oxy, but.
Okay.
Fair enough, bro.
But, yeah, dude, it's just like, you went through so much and your mindset was so strong through it. And I think that's why you're here right now. It's just you kept pushing. You didn't allow it to eat at you, but there was such strength you displayed through the whole situation, bro. So
I agree.
Hey, this is the main event. Let's hear your
let's hear you.
So you guys summed it up pretty damn well about what I was gonna say, but I guess I'll just like go off my personal experiences. But yeah, appreciating every day, and one thing I want everyone to think about is those days where you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to go to the grocery store, you don't want to go to work. That's something that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think that is a privilege. You know what I mean? It's something that you don't feel like you want to do, but it is. It is a privilege at the end of the day. And having that choice to be able to do that, I think that's the most valuable piece is, don't look at that as a negative, like environment. Like you need to treat that as because there's someone laying in a hospital bed that can't do that wants you to do it, and that should be your motivation to go to the gym every day.
Oh, man.
It was you, bro. You were in the gym consistently every single day for months, for years. One day you're not even able to. You're not allowed to. And then who are we to wake up at noon? Oh, dude, I really don't want to go lift, bro. I'm gonna scroll TikTok for a little bit.
Okay, wake up at noon is crazy.
Hey, everyone's done a little bit of that. Everyone wakes up a little bit at noon sometimes, but it's just once you think about it like that, bro, it doesn't make any sense. It's like it's not logically don't make no sense.
So glad you said that, Konnor, because when we talked about this and you said you're gonna say that, I was like, bro, this whole past week I didn't miss a day at the gym. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed work, and I'm never gonna not look at it that way. Like that just.
I think that's the best way to look at it.
It is, dude. That's life changing. Like. That's going to be the reel of the whole season right there. Like, everybody watching, dude, take in what he just said because it's so true, dude. You don't think about it. You think, gosh, I don't want to go to work today. Bro, there's somebody in a hospital bed wishing they could be going
fighting
to work
for their
today.
life right now.
Literally. Exactly. It's like
going to work's the littlest. It's so little compared to what other people's problems
You're also
are.
making money from it. The person in the bed's not
You're
making
benefiting
money.
from it.
Exactly. Yeah, literally. Like gratitude. That's what this episode's about right there. Being grateful. Say it. You take it away.
It's all about gratitude.
Yeah. It really is, though. It's like being grateful for every little thing, appreciating this life, appreciating your people, showing love, and being grateful for this life, dude. I don't know. You're inspiring, Konnor. I just want to say it. I was trying to pound it through your head through this whole time. All my texts. I was just telling you, bro. This is gonna be such an amazing. Like you maybe you see it now. Maybe you saw it the whole time, but the way I saw it, I was like, when you get through this is gonna be an amazing experience. Like you will almost be. Do you feel that at all?
At the end of the day, yeah, it's like I kind of feel like it's like a story I'll tell my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like I'll try to forget it as much as I can, but it's a part of me now.
Yeah.
And, it's a big part of me, and I think it honestly, because obviously like the early 20s, that's a rough stage in your life because you're kind of going from kid to adult. You're kind of lost, but I think that just matured like my mindset.
For sure, bro.
Yeah. And I mean, just to wrap it up, one more thing I want to say is your health is everything. Like if you need to value your health over everything. I think we take for granted just waking up every day. Mm-hmm. Being able to breathe, being able to see, just simple stuff like that. I don't think we realize how valuable that is on a day-to-day basis.
For sure.
And yeah, I just want to say, please be grateful for your health because, yeah.
What you just said is so true. When you wake up and you're sick, you notice it. You're like, oh, dude, my throat hurts today. When you wake up and you feel good, you just wake up and go.
Right.
You don't even think.
You don't even double think.
Dude, turn me up, bro. That's fire, bro. That's so dang true. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about that now, too. Like, you wake up and you feel good, you just move on. When you wake up and you feel sick, you're like, oh, my gosh, I got to go cough my freaking lungs out so I get this snot out of my throat. And so, like, dude, that's so true, man. So there's one more thing I want to bring up, too. So I go to the Chiefs game, right? It says write a name down for catching cancer or whatever it was.
Yeah, catching
And
cancer.
I posted it and tagged because I put Connor Olson and I put Brad Bowles. I put Brad Bowles and Konnor Barnes, and it like made a group chat, right? And you were able to connect with him, dude. How's that been? And how's it been knowing people going through this with you?
So, what I love about Connor is we're pretty much the same age. I believe
You are. Maybe he's 1 year younger.
Yeah, if that. But I was at Children's Mercy when I was going through all this stuff. So I was really around like toddlers, and nobody over the age of 12. So I didn't really have that connection on like a older person level. And I feel like getting cancer in your 20s isn't super common. I don't really know a lot of 20-year-olds with cancer. So I feel like you're already in a difficult stage of life, and then you got this burden on you when you're about to start your life. It's just kind of crazy. But Connor started his when I was pretty much wrapping up transplant and stuff. Yeah. So what I loved about connecting with him was I've kind of felt more like a mentor. I was really wanting to give him tips.
Yeah.
And because one thing that I wanted throughout my transplant was honesty. And they lacked that. They weren't transparent with me. Okay. I wanted to know exactly what I was going to go through. Uh-huh. And that's how I told him. I didn't sugarcoat it at all. I was like, this sucks. Like you're going to get like so far down, and I feel like being able to hear his story too, because I'm pretty sure he has I think he has a tumor in his back, something way different from mine.
Yeah.
But hearing a different perspective on that is just it was lovely, and we still talk to each other. So
he's kept a very good mindset too.
Crazy positive kid.
Can't believe it. He's sitting there in the hospital bed, lost his hair, going through similar things what you're going through, and he's saying, "God is good, baby. Another day. Let's get it." I'm like, bro. And I'm over here complaining about my job. Like,
you don't hear people be saying that have millions of dollars living in. You don't hear people saying that.
Yeah, people are out here on a boat. Oh, yeah. I'm so stressed. It's like, bro, what?
You ain't got problems, bro.
Inspiring, dude. Shout out Konnor Barnes. Macy, did you start part 3 on that? Because I have one more thing I want to say, and I don't want it. Is that one about to die? Really? Shout out Fuzz, dude. Going off today. That's 57 minutes straight. That's nice. Anyways, all right, we're about to wrap this up for real, but you went through this, and I know you said you felt alone in that moment because, I mean, who wouldn't? We're all going through things in life that are so much different from what you were going through. So, like, I guarantee it felt so lonely in that moment, and you've been able to find people, but you've also met some of those kids in the hospital. You're at Children's Mercy, and I know you met some of those kids, and I just wanted you to take a moment to share kind of that experience. And then, I don't know if there's anything after that. But, yeah, that's just one thing we didn't touch on that I want to touch on.
Yeah, so there was really 2 kids that I really got to know. And my mom's my mom knows a lot more kids than I did because, obviously, I wasn't in the mood to even talk to anybody if you want me around a kid. But there was 2. Colby was one kid I met. I think he's around 13-ish, around 12. Super cool dude. But he went through a transplant too. I think he has some type of blood cancer as well. But he was a super cool guy. And then the other kid was a little 4-year-old. His name was Maddox. He called me his big friend because he's a little 4-year-old toddler. We'd run the hallways together with our IVs, and it was super fun because I don't really like kids, honestly. Like, I'm not a big kid guy, but that little kid, just seeing him in that scenario, and he was just so happy. It kind of like reminded me of myself. Like, you don't really know what's going on at that time. So you're just a kid, right? But you're going through such a hard time, and the kid was super funny. I got him the powdered white donuts. Kid was a crack addict about those. Right? He loved those things. But Maddox actually recently passed. I think like 2 months ago, and that was a very, very, very sad thing. I went to a celebration of life, and it was crazy to see that take a children's life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like you hear about it all the time, right? But when you make a personal connection to a soul that's so innocent, that young, you start to question a lot. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I still really don't have my head wrapped around cancer at all. You know, why is it even a thing at this point? But I'll let God, you know, express that one to me, and hopefully I'll find an answer about that.
That's one of those that probably need to be answered in heaven, because I just can't come up with a reason, you know. But gosh, that's horrible to hear. But rest in peace. You know, he's up there. Yeah. He's up there right now in a better place for sure.
100%. Yeah.
So, gosh, well, on that note, is there one last thing? Anybody else? You know, I'm over here just yapping questions out. You two were there a lot more than me. I'm not gonna lie. I only got to go visit one time.
I think, well, you also were a teacher, dude.
Yeah, I know. I was so worried too. I was like,
that's reasonable.
Yeah, it's like I knew your immune system was basically getting replaced. Yeah. So I was like, dude, I'm sick 24/7 around these kids that I was teaching, but still, it sucks. I wish I got to come more, but you guys were up there all the time. Is there any stories you want to share? I know there was one that we talked about. Little yak incident.
Yeah, me and Cooper up there. I think that was when me and Cooper up there.
No, I want to say Jack was up there one time. I know.
No, I was up there at least 5 times.
I've seen it happen a few more times than that. But the others, the one that we were talking about the other day was whenever me and Cooper were down there and we were just talking, and you slowly just grab your bag and just start letting it out, and me and Cooper were just sitting there.
They're just
looking around, just not really acknowledging it, because it's like, what am I gonna be like? You good, bro? Obviously not. Like you're throwing up, you're going through all that, bro. But another thing we did was, I think it was also a day you weren't feeling too hot, but the Sporting Kansas City dudes came in.
Yeah,
and they were, I don't really know what they were doing. They kind of just came in to take a picture and right back out, but. I mean, it's cool. We got to meet two of them. So
too bad you weren't there when Taylor Swift went through.
Right. Mm-hmm. I actually visited the floor because she went to the same floor that I was on, but I did it the day before she went there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You were there so long, and then T Swift comes through, and you're not there.
But a little insider about that, she didn't tell anybody.
Really?
No, they wanted to keep it so low pro because once the hospital found it
would have been
yeah. So like she spent a while up there, but like they locked that floor like down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, when she did that, I officially became a Swiftie, bro.
Oh, I gained so much more respect. If you have the time to go meet some cancer kids, that I already gained respect
for hours too. She was up there for a while making TikTok videos and stuff.
Yeah. Got pics with the nurses and stuff. Yeah.
Shout out T Swift. What about you, Jack, though?
It was just every day was basically different going up there because obviously Carson's in Northwest. You're teaching little kids. Macy's teaching little kids. Chad's got work in class every day. All I had was 2 classes of college every day. Yeah. So basically I was trying to go up there as much as possible. So every day was just a different story. But like Konnor said, with it being a children's hospital definitely helped. Because the walls are just not white and gray and boring. You got paintings. You have something to actually like put a smile on your face. But every day was definitely a different day.
Yeah, we would just watch like sports games. We'd walk the floor. Mm-hmm. We'd play a lot of board games.
A lot, yeah.
I don't even remember how to play anymore. Sky Joe.
Mm-hmm. Sky Joe.
Connor probably never wants to see that game again.
Oh, I love Sky Joe.
The thing is, we have talked about this. Whenever I was here for winter break, when you were going through it, I came up. I'd say probably 4 or 5 times a week. I came up a lot during winter break, and like I said, we've talked about this. You wouldn't think that like hanging out in the hospital is fun at all. It was kind of a vibe. Like whenever we would come up there every couple of days. I mean, on
the good day when you weren't feeling bad. That was before chemo and radiation.
Oh yeah, but you weren't feeling that. But you had all this stuff to keep you fine, and we were just like, I just remember we were chilling, bro, and we were just like, this isn't ideal. You don't want to be chilling in the hospital, but like we got a crib. Like it was cool
in the city.
Yeah, I mean, you look out the window, you see some buildings, and then you
got a good view.
It was cool, bro, but obviously not at all. Like it was a vibe for what
it worked.
The situation,
it worked.
Dang. Well, hey, is there nothing else?
Don't think so.
All right.
We'll save it.
I feel like
we'll save it for the
celebration episode.
You want me to throw an outro on you?
Hold up. I forgot one thing. We're gonna do. We're doing challenge of the weeks, bro. Gosh, I forgot to say this before. We gotta think of a challenge for the people, bro. Anybody got anything?
Like, for these people?
Konnor, I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot like that, but all right, he got it. Boom. Let's go.
Challenge of the week.
Do I hear Brad Pole?
Tell someone that you don't talk to as much, or even if I mean, reach out. Tell somebody that you love them that you haven't told somebody. You know what I mean? Go reach out to somebody.
Somebody that you haven't told that you love them. Go tell them that you love them. Love you guys.
Doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh, dang it.
I'm down.
I think I said I love you guys. I probably say I love you guys a lot.
You used to always say it when you hung up. You're like, all right, love you, bye.
It's so like in my like because I always do that with my mom.
Mm-hmm. I love it though, dude. I love that.
We love that.
We love that.
All right, go tell somebody that you haven't told in a minute that you love them. Go tell them that you love them, and then I think this was the one. Not gonna lie, we already recorded this episode, bro. This is the part. This is try two, but I think we killed it. I think that I would not want to do it any other way, and if we did forget anything, we'll do another one.
Actually, I have a challenge too. If we can do two.
Okay.
Well, I say we all throw our own challenge.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, they're all easy. If you can't tell someone you love them in a week.
We got other issues.
Mine's gonna be at least once in the next week, so it'll be the same time.
Don't say the same thing as me, please.
Hopefully, you're not thinking the same thing as me. I'm thinking, if you can, if you're not hospital bed bound, treat your health right. If you have the ability to go to the gym, go lift or something. Go on a walk if you got your legs working. Go on a run. Like do something.
Go exercise.
Yeah, this week, not even go I guess go exercise. Do something that you're able to do that you may feel like is more of a inconvenience to yourself. Do it because you have the ability to. That's what mine is. Do something that you have the ability to do that some people might take for granted.
I like that.
Is
that what you're on?
DJ?
No, mine was gonna be. It's a little hard to explain. Also a little weird, but just try to. For the next week, at least one day, just live that full day with like straight happiness, gratitude, appreciation of where you're at and what you have, what's around you and everything. Just try to live one day in the next week with like no negatives, not being sad or mad or anything. Just putting a smile on everyone's face, letting everyone know that God is great, and just being appreciative of what you have and what's around you.
And you could do that because gratitude's a choice.
It is.
It's like, there's something bad happened, boom.
So right now, when's the dropping? Next Monday?
No, February 10th.
Well, is that a Monday?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, your Tuesday, all the viewers, your Tuesday is going to look like this. You're going to go on a walk with a smile and text somebody that you love them. What's yours?
Do your outro because I want mine to be the last thing.
Bring that thing in here. This is the Underwater Fly Zone podcast. We're signing off for today. I hope you guys were impacted by this message.
Do I hear Brad Pole?
We'll see you next Monday.
Shout out to Brad Poles. And hey, right now, my challenge 50 push-ups. Right now, let's go.
50
rolling. Keep it rolling.
You're doing 50 then first. It'll go.
All of y'all right now.
You go first. There's not enough room for all. You go, then Jack goes, then I'll go. And then Konnor gets a pass.
Bro, we're doing this?
Yeah, bro.
I just hit chest yesterday.
Y'all better do it with me. Drop down right now.
I need to do it then. Go. No, I don't have room. You go and then I'll go.
I don't even think you guys can do 50.
Yeah, 50 straight.
Yeah, I don't think you guys can do 50. I can't even.
Can we do 25 so it's not going to take so long?
I'll go till failure. Just one.
One? Just fall on the one. Do we want this thing still recording?
Yeah,
Actually, screw it.
Stop it.
Stop it?
Yeah.
Please. Please. 29. 30.
This kid's really got to hit 50.
I don't know if I'm doing 50 today.
Oh, I can't.
Especially not
39. 40.
Dude, your head is red.
42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 40.
Especially for in the 50s.
Come on now. Let's go.
How much can you bench?
Me? Like 16 plates at once.
I'd say you could bench 180.
Yesterday I got a plate and a 25. And I literally got down, no spotter, no one at the gym, couldn't get back up.
With what?
A plate and a 25.
Yeah, that's
And I was like,
that's about 180. What is that, 190-ish?
That 185.
am I, y'all not got that?
Oh, Giz, what are we doing?
What are you at?
37.
He's struggling.
My wrist hurts so
Your elbows are also out, bro.
My boobs are like,
36.
dude, feel my chest right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's really actually not that easy
Good
anymore.
job, Huggins brothers.
Jag, your turn.
Thanks for everyone watching. We'll see you next time. Subscribe to Underwater Flies.
We'll make him do it off camera. Hey,
I
come
got
on.
you guys. I'll do
You
mine
get
for
it?
Macy.
Was my face really red? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my.